And now your Idaho real estate news.
Question: who knows how much above the listed price a seller is actually receiving in today's market? I think it would be nice to know. We are experiencing a different phenomenon, and in the future, it will be interesting to look back and see statistically what happened. But can we? This is Mike Johnston, contributing editor for Idaho Real Estate News. This week, we will discuss the importance of data integrity and its application to a multiple listing service. In this article, I will be primarily referencing the Snake River Regional Multiple Listing Service, SRR-MLS, which covers a good portion of eastern Idaho, primarily Blackfoot and north, including Idaho Falls, Rexburg, the Upper Valley, etc. This information may be a bit different in other MLSs, so please check with them. The purpose of this newsletter is addressing how we deal with data integrity. One agent went into the Snake River Regional MLS, and because of data manipulation, the reports she created were not accurate. She was not able to see the true picture of what is happening in our market today. She searched to learn the percentage above the asking price that sellers were receiving. And she was surprised to find that they were still close to just 100% of asking price, when she knew that many of the comparables used took offers for tens of thousands of dollars above the listed price. She went in and looked at each comparable and found that the list price was changed to be exactly the same as the offered price. That made the statistics change to show that they were selling for 100% of the list price and not for a higher percentage as it actually did sell for. The data was altered or manipulated. We have seen members of MLSs going in and changing the list price to now be the amount offered or the purchase price that they recently received on a property. Some of these members believe that they are working on behalf of their one client, and by so doing, the change of this data will make it easier for an appraiser to appraise their one property because the offer price is now the same as the list price shown on the MLS. This is false. This is data manipulation. It is deceptive and misleading. How can we get a true and accurate description of what is happening in the market when our database is being modified or altered in such a way that we no longer can better serve all of our customers and clients? Not just one particular seller client, but collectively all of our clients. What is the purpose of an MLS? In the Snake River Regional MLS rules and regulations, it states, multiple listing service defined. A multiple listing service is a facility for the orderly correlation and dissemination of listing information, so participants may better serve their clients and customers and the public. A means by which authorized participants make blanket unilateral offers of compensation to other participants, acting as buyer agents or in other agency or non-agency capacities defined by law. A means of enhancing cooperation among participants. A means by which information is accumulated and disseminated to enable authorized participants to prepare appraisals, analysis, and other valuations of real property for bona fide clients and customers. A means by which participants engage in real estate appraisal, contribute to a common database. End quote. In short, as members of an MLS, we are contributing to a common database, which we can disseminate that information to better serve our customers and clients. Ever hear of the saying, garbage in, garbage out? That is true. Accurate data in, accurate data out. It is up to each of us to do our part in contributing accurate information to our common database to be used by all members of the MLS. We need to, as it says in Section 16 of Snake River Regional MLS's rules and regulations, quote, MLS participants shall present a true picture in their advertising and representations to the public, including internet contact images and the URLs and domain names they use, end quote. What are some of the other rules that as members of the Snake River Regional MLS, people have agreed to abide by? Page 5 of the same rules and regulations states, reporting sales to the MLS policy statement. Sales of listed property shall be reported promptly to the MLS by listing brokers. If negotiations were carried on directly between a cooperating participant and the seller, the cooperating broker shall report the accepted offer to the listed broker, and the listing broker shall report that information to the MLS. Page 6, listing subject to rules and regulations of the service. Any listing taken on a contract to be filed with the MLS is subject to the rules and regulations of the service upon signatures of the sellers. Change of status of listing. Any change in listed price or other change in the original listing agreement shall be made only when authorized in writing by the seller and shall be filed with the service within 24 hours, except in weekends, holidays, and postal holidays, after the authorized change is received by the listing broker. So who is entering this altered list price? Whose idea was it that somehow it is a good idea to manipulate the system? Why would this be done? Now the tough stuff, potential penalties. Page 15 and 16, compliance with rules. Compliance with rules, authority to impose discipline. By becoming and remaining a participant or subscriber in the MLS, each participant and subscriber agrees to be subject to these rules and regulations and any other MLS governance provisions. The MLS may, through the administration and hearing procedures established in these rules, impose discipline for violation of rules and other MLS governance provisions. Discipline that may be imposed may consist of, but is not limited to, one or more of the following: a notice of violation, attendance at an MLS orientation or other appropriate courses or seminars which the participant or subscriber can reasonably attend, taking into consideration cost, location, and duration, approximate reasonable fine not to exceed $15,000, suspension of MLS rights, privileges, and services for not less than 30 days, nor more than 1 year. Termination of MLS rights, privileges, and services with no right to reapply for a specific period not to exceed 3 years. Compliance with rules. The following action may be taken for non-compliance with the rules. For failure to pay any service charge or fee within 1 month of the date due, and provided that at least 10 days notice had been given, the service shall be suspended until service charges and fees are paid in full. For failure to comply with any other rule, the provisions of sections 9 and 9.1 shall also apply. Applicability of rules to users and or subscribers. Non-principal brokers, sales licensees, appraisers, and others authorized to have access to information published by the MLS are subject to these rules and regulations and may be disciplined for violations thereof, provided that the user or subscriber has signed an agreement acknowledging that access to and the use of the MLS information is contingent on compliance with these rules and regulations. Further, failure of any user or subscriber to abide by these rules and or any sanction imposed for violations thereof can subject the participant to the same or other discipline. This provision does not eliminate the participant's ultimate responsibility and accountability for all users or subscribers affiliated with the participant. Now, this last section really brings the importance of this topic right to the point. Page 21 to 22, Standards of Conduct for MLS Participants, Section 16. MLS participants shall present a true picture in their advertising and representations to the public, including internet contact, images, and the URL and domain names they use, and participants may not manipulate, meaning presenting content developed by others, listing, and other content in any way that produces a deceptive or misleading result. Again, a deceptive or misleading result. We need to present a true picture. In the Snake River Regional MLS's list of MLS rule violations and penalties, it states the following: violation 1.06, manipulating data to modify, mislead, or deceive. Violation 1.08, changing or removing information upon a status change. The penalties that might be assessed include, for a violation of Section 1, on the first offense, a warning email is issued. The second offense, a $50 fine will be assessed and attendance at the next Snake River Regional MLS orientation/training class is required. Third offense, $100 fine will be assessed and attendance at the next orientation or training class is required. Fourth offense, $500 fine will be assessed and the attendance at the next Snake River Regional MLS orientation/training class is required. Fifth offense, suspension. We need to keep our data accurate. The MLS is not a place to try to do something to better our one seller's position in the market. It is a location for statistics and a tool to help us place buyers and sellers together. When in doubt, reach out to your broker and ask them for assistance about how to keep our MLS's data accurate and not manipulated. This has been another segment of Idaho Real Estate News. If you found this article useful, please share it with others. Subscribe by adding us to your Alexa Flash briefing or by sending an email to johnston@micro.com. That's JOHNSTON at MYKRO.com. We have a website with all of our past topics that have been discussed. Visit the website IREN.news. That's IREN.news for more information. There you can also submit topics you would like us to cover. We are available for you to subscribe and listen to us as a podcast. You can find us on many of your favorite places where you subscribe to other podcasts. Search for Idaho Real Estate News. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insights on forms and other real estate topics. For Idaho Real Estate News, I'm Mike Johnston.
Idaho Real Estate News is updated weekly.